All right, hello everybody. We are here for a pro guide. I am going to probably kind of low on these balls. Might as well use something else. A little bit of distance never hurt anybody. Use some katanas. We are setting up for hole number 1 of the pro tournament. Now, what I do recommend is, using a driver here. A little bit of distance is a good thing. Precision is also a good thing. So I don't know what the wind's going to be. That's the only. So we'll just have to kind of tackle these together. But as you can see, for the most part, I have I'm putting on some longer clubs. So, for example, I'm probably going to stay out of the sand and the rough anyway. So don't worry about that. But if you do, make sure that you're putting on some of the longer clubs, especially for this tour. This is the biggest tour where, length is really going to be important in the rough and Spitfire. Like the sand and rough iron are going to be huge for distance. So even if you have them at, level 2, and if they're your longest club, especially with the topspin, that's probably what you're going to want to do. For the most part, you're going to avoid the issues by the greens. So, I don't see you being in too much trouble to where, you wouldn't want to have those on. But, like I said, I don't expect to really be in either of those for the length of this tournament. And I'm going to try to, stick to Thor's hammer as my main driver for this tour. Biggest reason being is, it's a Tour 6 club, and you can still play it. Here you can see that we just have enough on a katana probably to get to that other side. If you have a Thor that can reach it. For the pro division, I'm going to play a little bit more conservative, but I just wanted to show you that is kind of an option. I am going to back off of this a little bit and just, make sure that you put your momentum to the left, because everything tries to funnel to the right here. So you see what I'm doing with my spin? I'm just keeping it away from that edge, because it will roll down into that rough and potentially go towards the water there. It usually doesn't make it to the water unless you really make a big mistake, but you don't want to really put yourself in problems. So here you see this guy has an Epoch 3 and is potentially going to the other side. Now I do want to stress to you guys how important it could be. Notice the angle of the wind. So where I was originally going to go, that would be my preferred way to go for pro, because your second shot is also going to be almost straight downwind towards the hole. So laying up where we are, we're going to have side winds for our second shot. It's going to make things much more challenging to actually make it. So if you wanted to hold out a shot in pro, you would have to get aggressive and go over the water using a Titan, Berserker, anything with distance, football, something that might get you to the other side and set you up is going to be the way that you're going to want to go. Now, that's not to say that we can't make it from over here. It's just very challenging. So here you're going to see me kind of set up. short of this bunker. And aside from that, I'll pretty much play my rings pretty spot up. I'm going to play about 6 rings. I might just try to curl it. That great ball's going to cost me. So it's going to run down the hill, no question. But there you can see that we, giving it a good run towards the hole, good speed. And there you see it just dip to the left. And I'll show you an easy way to tackle that pitch. This course is more sloped than any other course in the game. So that fact alone, this is my favorite course in the entire Golf Clash app, in my opinion. It's the most that's actually like a real golf course, in my opinion. That, there's a lot of slope in certain spots. And, it kind of reminds me a little bit of kind of like a little Pinehurst or something. To where you have these greens that have high undulated ridges. And, this is a relatively safe shot. You can do this. I'm just going to go ahead and go for the dunk because it's under a cup. You just have to, play. You see, I'm playing about a ring. And you can see that because one ring's hanging out of the cup. And the bullseye is about the size of a... and whether or not I pull it, not important. Still went right into the center of the cup. That's one of the biggest reasons that, taking away the green entirely is something that I like to do, especially around the green and on this course, because you never know when you're going to get in a tricky spot. But with that being said, ever since they kind of fixed the physics a little bit, these pitches seem to go in at a very high rate anyway. These used to be a nightmare. I don't know if you guys, for all you guys who have been around here, well, there you're seeing one actually miss. It's very rare that actually happens. I feel like, more times than not, you're going to see it just go in every time. So, you can play those shots, but just be very precise with your movements when you're doing them. And, of course, try not to land on a side hill. It's kind of the biggest thing that I'd suggest to avoid that happening. And, like I said, I do believe you probably, ideally, want to go for this hole in pro. The only reason I'm not showing you that is because, I don't want to give you guys a shot that's over certain guys' heads. For some of the guys who, still want to be here in pro, playing that safe route, still going to give you a chance to make it. And it's going to avoid the bunker. It's going to avoid the water, the tree, all the rough. It's just going to be a nice, safe, easy way to play the holes. So good luck with that first hole. If you do so, choose to go for it. Hopefully you can get yourself into a nice pitch range and be able to make it. So good luck, and I'll see you guys on hole 2.